Hello and welcome to episode 3 in the Get That Job series. So you've been looking for schools in a particular area and perhaps this one's come up that's caught your eye. What's the first thing that you ought to be doing? Well, we're going to go to the obvious places, which is the school website first, and then onto the Ofsted report. And if having read those and had a look through those you're still interested, then there are two things to do. Send off for the application form and arrange a visit if possible. Now, in most cases, schools nowadays will arrange visits for potential candidates. But on the odd occasion, a school may not allow visits. Then the best you can do, having read the Ofsted report, having looked at the school website, is to drive around and take a look at the school itself, see what you can see, and have a look at the catchment area that it actually takes its children from. Okay, so you've arranged a visit and been given a day and time. One question that occasionally comes up is, well, if I've completed the form, should I be taking it in with me? I'm going to give, the answer to that really is no. So I'm going to say that, except if you've picked up this school very late and perhaps the school visit is right against the closing date. On that sort of occasion, then you could take the form in to give in if you are happy after the visit. But if there's a decent amount of time, then there's no need to take the form in. In fact, you wouldn't want to take the form in because on your letter of application, you'll be making reference to what you've seen and perhaps what you've discussed actually in the visit itself. So there are two different scenarios that can occur on school visits. One is that you'll be asked to go after school, and the other is it'll be during the school day. And obviously they give two completely different impressions of the school. If you go after school, when the school is empty, the children aren't in the school, and the staff are milling about, then the actual atmosphere, the buzz of the school isn't there. You won't get that. So on your visit and look around, you could find yourself either in one or two, or perhaps a group. You're looking for clues as to the nature, the type of school that this is. So you're going to be looking at the types of display that are on the walls, in the corridors. Perhaps they have a science board, or perhaps they have a sports board to say what the latest activities the sports teams have been doing. Is it bright? Is it cheerful? Is it tidy and clean? Obviously, as you're being shown around, you will be steered away from any potential disaster areas. But have a look at things like cloakrooms. Are they generally good for a school? Perhaps a computer area. Is the sports equipment or the hall equipment stacked neatly at the side? Take a look, or hopefully you'll take a look in the staff room and maybe get a chance to say hello to one or two of the staff. Certainly if you meet any staff, the head or the deputy head will introduce you. And just gauge how friendly the staff seem and perhaps the ages of the staff. Well, that shouldn't really put you off. And just as a word of caution, don't worry if it's an old school as opposed to being a brand new school. Some schools are still in Victorian plus buildings, but that doesn't detract from the type of school that it is and the potential of the school that it can be. Now, generally after school is when heads and deputies and senior leadership team members will take round groups of candidates. So don't worry if there are 4, 5 or 6 of you going around. Ask any questions that you want to know the answers about and listen to what the questions that other people may be asking, and have a little bit of paper or a notebook just to jot a few things down. It isn't an opportunity in a group like that to try and make an impression, but there's bound to be one or two people in a group who think that it is. Don't let them faze you. The person taking you round really won't be noticing who's in the group. It will literally be the guided tour. The other option, of course, will be during the day, and that's the one I prefer. Because you see the school in its school mode. It will more than likely be the head or the deputy head that will be taking you round. And there will be probably just yourself or maybe two of you, so it'll be a very close sort of tour of the school, and you'll get a chance to chat with the person that's taking you round. So here's an opportunity then to ask questions perhaps about school activities, perhaps the involvement of parents or the PTA. What's the school's approach to behaviour? Does the school have a behaviour policy? Does it have a homework policy? Out of school activities? In fact, anything you want to know. Now, on these occasions, it's not a time to be the wallflower. You must come forward there and ask questions and engage in conversation. Because in those sort of situations, you are being judged from that point. So you want the person who's taking you around to go away from that thinking, oh, that candidate was very good. Yes, I was impressed with that candidate there. Of course, the other thing about going around schools in school time is you get to feel the buzz of the school. So you'll meet children in the corridors coming up and down. You'll get a chance to go into the back of classes and listen to the teacher, how they handle the class, the interaction with the class, the enthusiasm. You'll be able to see the different sorts of displays and see the classrooms working and get a feel for the school, because that's the advantage of going in school time. You get a feel for the whole school. Because at the end of the day, what you want to do and what you want to take away from this, whether you've gone in the evening after school or whether you've been fortunate enough to go during school time, is to go back home with your notes, look again at the website, read again the summary of the Ofsted report, look at your notes and think to yourself, would this be a school that I would like to work in? Now, take a few minutes, sit down and think about it, pull everything together, and especially from your visit, and you're beginning to see now how important the visit is in this process. If the answer is, I really wasn't sure about this, or really I didn't get a feel for it there, or perhaps the opposite, I really enjoyed my visit around, I really could see myself working there, everybody seemed very friendly, it was nice and bright, I got the answers to the questions that I wanted. And don't forget, you can also ask questions at interview as well. Then if that all comes together and you think to yourself, yes, this is a school I'd like to work in, then we move on to the next step, which of course is completing the application form and submitting our application. So in summing up, school visits, are they necessary? They're not 100% vital. We can sort of get some idea without it, but you can get so much information from a school visit, and you also get that personal feel for the school as well. So if you get the opportunity, certainly go on those school visits. It gives you the deciding factors in whether to apply or perhaps leave that school and look for one that you think you'd like to work in even better. Okay, good luck in your visits. The next video we're going to do, we'll look at completing that application form.